Welcome everyone, it's Favorite Drakeamar. It's time for some more Raid Shadow Legends. In this episode, I need to turn this off auto, but this is what I usually end up doing anyway. And I put it on auto, and I have my food. I also have a rank 5 food in my vault. I'm going to be making more of this. I'll show you the rank 5 food in just a few moments. And I have been grinding Elden Ring. I've grinded like 50k souls, but I need a lot more in order to actually get the upgrade. Because I looked like a moron. Because I'm going to do some of the last grinding of Magic Keep and stuff, but first we're going to be trying to plow through campaign. I've got to keep doing that. Gonna get that one set up. The food grind continues. These three will be assembled into that. Again, I'm also doing this looking for rares. My second account finally has Vergus. The only account I now have that does not have Vergus on it is this account. Yeah. What the actual hell? I am deeply sorry about that. I accidentally clicked something. Okay, gotta keep going. Accidents always happen, but I'm very loyal to the clan. To the point where, like I said, if I'm awake, if I have any inclination of being awake at all, and I notice something, I'm right on it when it comes to clan activity. I do not flinch from it. Anyway, we're fighting Apothecary and Hyria, which we will be getting Apothecary eventually. We just gotta summon enough, you know? All champs at this point are either subject to getting vaulted or fed. So that's your fate at this point as we move through the high elves. Like if I got a Tyrell right now randomly, which I wouldn't because I'm not pulling any shards right now, like any ancients. If I had a Tyrell, I would just vault him. Because everything, if you're valuable enough, you'll get vaulted. If you are not valuable enough, you won't get vaulted. Like, getting vaulted is a sign of respect in this situation. Because everyone else, if you're not getting vaulted, you're turning into food. So, that's where my situation is at right now. Because the Kael focus is everything at the moment. Because I need my first campaign farmer, my first base. I need my first base because I can't rely on RNG to give me anything good. And if I lose sight of my 6-star champ, it could be disastrous. So We're also going to start off with climbing all his gear to 16 because we're reaching the mid game now. And in the mid game, not having your gear at 16 is a death sentence. So, yeah. So we're going to do 1/16 piece at a time. I mean, I'm reaching for it. If at all possible. Okay. That's the first piece. We're also going to do masteries. We're going to purchase an item at the market. Most of this is junk. First things first. We are going to begin assembling our commons. Because we don't have a lot of space early on. And I need a lot of silver early on. So that's just a fact. Do that. Begin the hatchery. More garbage. Well, it's just as well. Because our big focus right now when it comes to mystery shards is to make 3 stars for food. Unless I get Apothecary, and then I'll vault him. But unless I get Apothecary, I'm not even considering pulling an Ancient unless I get Apothecary, because luck has to be on my side, you know? I use mystery shards as a barometer of how good my luck is. I use them as a barometer, if you know what I mean. That's why I'm hatching so much, because I'm trying to get something from these that's good. Maybe get some good boots while I'm at it. So these three will go there. And put that one there. Because, yeah, I don't want Bombardier because he's not good. I want, like, Apothecary or something, or Kael dupe. If I get that, I will vault that. And that's a gesture of respect. Because everyone else is going to become food. Because they're easy and abundant. Maybe not Slayer or War Maiden. Those are also going to be vaulted. Again, it's a gesture of high respect if I don't vault you. I'm going to keep it moving. I'm just getting some XP on here before going to the boss. And some silver. Because it's going to cost me a lot of silver to get his gear to 16. My main goal is to attempt to make a rank 5 food a day. Now, since this is a boss, I'm going to put Spirit Host in here. Spirit Host has reached level 40. She currently does some work for me in Arena at level 40. She is not food, but she is the only one not subject to vault or food because she is going to help me through campaign to get to hard. That's her job. And I'm keeping her though. But she's the only one I'm keeping. Note, that's the shove part. She's the only one I'm keeping. The rest is food. All of it. Pretty much. It's either food or vault. If you're valuable, if you are like in a good situation, as I use my acid rain to zap Queen Eva. This area is a little tricky. I'll be putting the food in here. So like I use Spirit Host as a carry in the tricky stages, like this one. That's where I use Spirit Host as a carry. Like I use her where Kael struggles, like negative affinity matchups, stuff like that. That's where I use Spirit Host. Where I know Kael is going to struggle. So we're struggling less now, but before we would struggle more versus these orcs, especially versus the Seer and the Terror Beast with the reflect damage. So yeah, where Kael struggles, I bring Spirit Host. And 2 food. Spirit Host and 2 food. I triple star later. I'm trying to like show me shoving through campaign. My main thing at the moment as I shove forward is to try to get to that valuable 4-star because that's going to be the next food. I'll show you later that I got a rank 5 food in the vault that I will be using. At the moment, it's very difficult to get enough rank 5 foods. Actually, I should put the food next to Kael, but my system is to have the food that I'm developing to rank 5 be in the active part, and the other food that's already been formed in the vault, so I don't stick it in with the in with Kael, like in here by accident, and take more XP than is needed to make the rank 5 food. Because in the end, I want a rank 6 Kael, but I'm not gonna to sugarcoat it and tell you I'm gonna get a rank 6 Kael straight away. That's just overly optimistic. I have to do a process, and I have to show some of my work. You know, I have to show some of it. Because it's foolish to think that it's going to happen straight away. You do have to grind some of the levels. Like, you have to, like, I haven't even shown all of it. I'm showing some of the process. Genuinely, it's actually a pretty long process. My personal best on it is like 12 days. Hopefully, I can do it in less than 12 days. Now, the reason I'm also using Avenger as food is because I know that she's really bad, actually, in terms of value. And in terms of value, I'm waiting. Like, I feed champs that I know don't have a ton of value, like a ton of value. And then I'm only vaulting champs that I know for a fact are kind of hard to get and have a very high value. Because it's got to have a very high value at this stage of the game for me to want to keep them. There we go. Perfect timing. Keeping it going because I do not need that gear. Tilshire has some pretty bad gear until Brutal, and even then it's not the greatest. Brutal is where we're going to be spending the majority of our time once, as we fight these orcs, once I get what I need. We may end up farming food in Brutal Durham. That may end up being it, but more likely, more often than not, it's probably going to be hard. Hard campaign first. And try to get as much food there before that point. Alright, we finally get them to stop reviving. Stop giving me deals, Plarium. I know you want us to spend money on the game. Okay. Time to level her up. Boom. Shakalaka. Get our 4-star. I'm going to show you the 5-star in my vaults. Now, where's my vault? Vault. This is my 5-star food. I Probably should take it out of my vault. These are my other foods. We're going to be assembling them. I've got to assemble a lot of them because the raw amount of food that I actually need to prepare is actually kind of silly. Not gonna lie. In fact, it's so silly that I'm even going to expand the slots. Just because of the silly amount of food that I'm going to have to burn. Because that's literally where we're at right now. I'm expanding the slots just so that I can make more food and thus expand the process. Because it's a conveyor belt. It's a constant conveyor belt. Well, you know who's going to get vaulted, right? He's going to be for faction wars. Yay, faction wars. We're going to have to shove pretty hard through campaign. Yup. Gonna have to shove pretty hard. Want to get back to 1 million silver and then start spending. Again. The only reason I'm saving Galek is because I like the prophecy with the starters, but I'm not going to be raising Galek right now because he's got a purpose. And right now, only Kael matters in terms of what I have to do, because pretty much in terms of I mean, I have to raise my one starter. If I don't focus on him, I'm going to look like a laughingstock. That's why, because I respect Galek, I'm vaulting him. That's a gesture of respect at this point. If I'm not feeding you, that is a gesture of respect. Like, high respect. Because most of these champs that I pull, most of them will become food. It's just the nature of the matter. But yeah, Galek's main use is faction wars. I don't really use him anywhere else. Hello, Mr. Bigun. How you feeling today? Maybe one day the game will actually give me one. Yay. Poison on him. We've made it all the way to Valdemar. But the main thing is I need Spirit Host for some of these harder levels because I don't have my crit damage and stuff fully prepared. Do that. We got to do some arena though. But before we do arena, I've got to shove this guy's gear up. I'll do it before 1,000,000. I just got to shove this to 12 if I can. Next is I've got to sell. Anything below 4-star is all sold instantly. All of this. So all of this is junk. Looking for non-junk gear. There's a reason I'm trying to upgrade this guy's gear. There's a reason. Hopefully, sooner rather than later, we'll get the 16. Because that's the first step. Because Kael's got to have fully done gear. And it's going to be very frustrating to do this. There we go. Perfect. That's what we want to see. Give him his first mastery. And then gonna keep shoving forward because this is the last night for it. There we go, perfect. I don't know how we got to silver 1 considering I don't have a 6-star yet. But hey. I don't know how this account did that. Because normally I consider silver 1 practically impossible to do, but hey. Especially at this stage before I get the all-important 6-star. Now, when I get a 6-star, then yeah, I get it. But before a 6-star, I don't get it. The main thing here was I 16'd his main set of gear. That's the main thing. That is the main thing. Got him. Now we're going to take that when we run ourselves out of energy, which is what I'm planning on doing. Because, like I said, I've got to shove campaign as hard as I possibly can. Gonna have to split this into 2 episodes just because of how much I have to do. I gotta keep shoving it, man. I've got to shove all of this up. I've got to keep going. And maybe up the crit damage if I can. Because my main objective, like I said previously, is to get that 6-star Kael. Which, the only way I can get that is by continuing to climb the ladder. Can we just like, you know what? I'm just going to try to complete hard. Maybe that could be a goal. I don't know if I can, but I'm going to give it a shot. Increase strength. There we go. Perfect. My main objective is to get to where the XP is high. That's my main objective. And also to later on try to shove magic keep and stuff. Now, once she reaches 40, and I get her, like this Avenger, and I get her stuff prepared, that's when I'm going to make my second 5-star food. I'll still need 4 more, but at least I'll be able to progress from there. Now, I might be able to get to Hollowed Halls, but that's where the progress is going to slow down dramatically, because Hollowed Halls is a negative affinity to Kael, and this is a harder version of it. So I don't think we're, well, I'll try, but I don't, the progress is going to be slowed. I'm going to have to make that another episode, because the progress is going to be slowed. That's just the way it is. And that's why I'll have to make a part 2. Because right now, I'm just shoving hard because I want to get to a place where I feel like I have a lot more XP. As they continue to try to increase their attack. Getting that increased attack. We're climbing up. We're climbing. We made it to Bad Alcazar. The Dark Necromancer. That book tumbled from his robes of dark rituals. Dark rituals that we'll never really know, but I'd like to have a Bad Alcazar one day to figure it out. The game has never blessed me with one. Sadly. Maybe one day the game will finally give me a Bad L. One day. Never know when. But for now, the game has never given me a Bad Alcazar. I will be eventually helping out Spirit Host as well. Giving her booked skills. But not for now, because the big focus is Kael. Alright, we've made it all the way to the Deadlands. And then we'll attempt to make it past Godfrey's. That is our mission. And then, okay, yeah, keep this out of the equation. Keep these two in the equation. Keep smacking them. We're just going to go blast right past here. But I may end up farming this place. Because of a very specific purpose. I need a berserker. Now, well, first a war maiden and then a berserker. Now you might ask why. Well, there is a team you can use to climb actually that's comprised of 4 elements, and one of them is berserker. So him and war maiden are both incredibly integral to this plot. Granted, the first focus is going to be getting Kael to 6. I mean, people are always like, oh, I'm not going to find a starter champ in my mystery shards or whatever. You will if you open enough of them. That's my reply. If you haven't found them yet, it means you haven't opened enough mystery shards. You haven't done enough campaign, opened enough mystery shards, because believe me, they will show up at some point. It could be a couple minutes from now, it could be a year from now, but eventually it'll show up. It's inevitable. Just give it enough time and they'll show up. Do that. Then, of course, I have to go shove masteries. Keep on chucking. Enemies. We're gonna get to the boss before I end this off, because I've gotta make significant progress and maybe get a war maiden, because she's pretty and she does a lot for my team, and I'm gonna be vaulting her anyway. Because again, I'm not focusing war maiden until my Kael is 6. The 6 is the priority. Him, good, sell that. Fight the dragon. I think this is the first boss that actually breaks the level cap officially. And then in Brutal it takes it to another level. So anyway, like and subscribe if you like this content. I'm just going to leave it off here. After I kill this boss, obviously. He's going to be swiping at me. He's not happy. And there you go. And as you saw previously, there is my rank 5 food. She will be my next one. She's going to feed into her. And then that's going to be eventually when this guy is going to turn into a 6-star.